Hi guys, another video. Here in the Way Forest, just on the border of South Shropshire and I think it's Worcestershire. It's a wonderful place. I've been here many times before. It's where I take my dog. It's just a nice place to be, but I'm not here alone. I'm here with a man that's done an amazing thing recently. This is Stewart.
Morning.
So how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Very well.
And I'm not going to tell them what amazing thing you've actually done. I think I'm going to leave that to you.
Well, a couple of weeks ago I walked 65 miles across Scotland for charity, and we raised a phenomenal amount of money, huge amount of local support, and I'm actually quite proud of my achievement. So I thought we'd go out for a walk today with Russ and have a chat to you guys.
An amazing achievement, and he should quite rightly be so proud. 65 miles.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow.
Camping
as well.
Yeah.
Wild camping as well.
Yeah.
Something I've not yet properly done yet, but I will be. So yeah, we've come out for a walk with Stewart. Or Stewart's come out with a walk for me. He invited me out. I'm really chuffed that he has. We're gonna get on with the walk, but a little bit later we're gonna have a little bit of a full chat with Stewart, and because I really want to hear about the story of his Great Glen Way experience, and you know what can his experience do for other people that want to do the same walk in future.
Yeah,
okay
I'm
with that?
quite happy with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a lot of positive things to put forward, really.
Yeah, it
It's
sounds like
fantastic,
it.
yeah.
And the video there is a video on YouTube. I will be putting a link. It's not to Stewart's channel, it is to a Shropshire Lad, so Gordon Jackson, thanks for doing that for Stewart as well, because it wasn't just Stewart that did the walk, it was Gordon too. So I'll put a link in the description for that, and you can go and watch it and have fun with it. But amazing trip, great scenery as well. But the scenery is one thing, but
yeah.
the knowledge is another.
Yeah.
So we'll get on with that.
Quite
later.
nice to have a lighter rucksack.
Oh, I can believe it. So you're going to take me on a walk that I've never actually done.
No,
So-
we're going to go into a bit of the wire forest that not many people know about. It's a walk where you can pretty reliably see deer if you're quiet and careful. It's my old dog walk I used to do back when I had my Labrador.
Oh, right.
And it used to be every night.
Excellent.
Every night. So absolutely love it here. So I'm looking forward to introducing Russ to it.
Excellent. Right, well, let's get on and see what there is to see. And from what I'm seeing, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Stuart's informed me that we're actually going to be down this little track here, and it looks pretty cool. I'm loving the light up here as well, so let's get on.
Okay.
Well guys, we're still here, just. We've walked down the trail and we've had a fantastic time. In fact, we just come up from that way, and we stopped off for a brew, didn't we?
Yeah, nice brew, yeah.
It was a lovely brew, and we were going to do, well, I was going to do a bit of a talkie session and find out about Stuart's little adventure that he went on. However, we had company there, unfortunately, so we're going to have to find another place. So we've just been walking down the trail. The poor bloke's nearly died. Seriously. Well, I'm not going to get under it, but literally, this tree here, is it that one or that one? This one here, it's got like a leany branch. Well, my word, it's just it just fell down. It's just hit Stewart,
And it's nothing. It didn't hurt me.
apparently it didn't hurt. He's all right though, but my god, that could have been a lot of a different story. That's
I've been through worse.
well, yeah,
Still
65 miles. That's worse. So yeah, top tip is going to have to be, if you're going out in the woods, make sure you've got a first aid kit, and make sure you haven't got squirrels that want to kill you.
They've heard about my dog, that's what it is.
Your dog, yeah.
Yeah.
But I have to admit though, Stuart, this is an absolutely beautiful walk.
It's really nice because it's quite a stony base here, so you can walk this all year round and not get too muddy.
Yeah.
Just have to watch out for the roots. So.
Well, the roots are fine, but I'm loving the ferns and the colours. Got some Christmas trees here. So yeah, we're just going to carry on down this trail and find another suitable place. Maybe there's time for another brew and a chat.
I reckon.
So we'll see what the day brings, and hopefully no more widow making trees. I am first aid qualified, but I don't really want to be practicing it out on my little pleasure hike. So
head injury isn't a good thing on a Saturday morning, is it really?
No. I think most people's head injury on a Saturday morning is after a few pints the night before. But
oh yeah.
It's nothing. I'm here with Stewart, who's done an absolute amazing thing with his achievement. 65 miles across Scotland, and not even a single sight of the Nessie, I believe.
No, not at all. We were quite a long way above Loch Ness quite at the time. So.
Well, most of the pictures of Nessie comes from that distance.
Yeah,
I reckon.
they do.
So
yeah.
They've probably seen me swimming in the lake or something like that and thought it was Nessie, but
I've never seen Nessie on the 3 times I've canoed Loch Ness.
Never. No. Well, they reckon that Nessie is now an eel.
Right. Okay.
Rather than an actual, you know.
My money's actually on big catfish.
A big catfish.
Yeah.
Well, it's very possible because they can go some massive size.
They can. Yeah.
So, Great Glen Way.
Yep.
Why the Great Glen and not the West Highland Way?
Probably no more than that. I think 12 years ago I got divorced and I wanted to try something new. My neighbours had got a canoe, Canadian canoe, and I bought one. And various adventures unfolded, and we ended up going on a trip with an outdoor education centre to canoe from Fort William to Inverness. And that was an incredible journey. First time I've ever done anything like that. I've subsequently done it 2 more times, but I really know the area very well. I was very comfortable with all the places that I was likely to be stopping. I knew all the towns along the way. No, let's say the town along the way. I knew where the floating pub was at Lagan, all of that kind of stuff. So it was an area that I was very comfortable in. And bearing in mind the first 3 days of the walk was solo, I think it was really important for me to be within my comfort zone there.
With familiarity.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it was very familiar.
Absolutely.
Okay, so epic journey. I loved the video as well, and I did like your contribution as well. A canal.
It's a shipping canal, and when you're in a canoe and you're very low on the water, the first time a North Sea trawler comes round the corner, you go to the edge. There's none of this they should give way to everybody who's under paddle power. No, you get out of the way.
I think that's probably a wise thing to be doing. Yeah,
it's an amazing feat of engineering, even by today's standards. You know, I mean, it's usually used now predominantly by pleasure craft, but that's cool. It brings a lot of money into the economy up there, and it's nice. You know, friendly bunch of people.
Yeah.
Everybody's looking out for everybody else, and that's another key thing about this route. You know, that there was only one occasion when I didn't see people for a prolonged period of time, but I've no doubt if there was a bit of a drama, somebody would have turned up at some point and I would have been okay. So
cool.
also phone signal all the way.
Oh,
4G.
I have to agree there. Phone signal in Scotland. When I went to Ben Nevis, you guys all know that I went to the Ben. Unfortunately, I didn't make it because of a sorry gut, and they don't have bathroom facilities halfway up the Ben Nevis, so I ended up staying in the Glen. But phone signal in the Glen was an absolute nightmare. Normally with my provider I can get reception anywhere, usually 4G. That's why I went with them. But yeah, the Scottish Highlands and those glens and mountains, they're a pain in the butt. So if you're getting...
Well, to be quite honest, it's better all the time up there. I've been going up there on and off for 12 years. I've explored the west coast, the Hebrides, inner and outer, quite a lot. And you are pushed not to have excellent signal with 4G at the moment. In fact, you'll notice on Gordon's video that he does comment that he's had solid 4G the whole time he's been up there, and he couldn't believe it. So
just...
when you sat there by a campfire and he's listening to the sodding Archers, I'm not old enough to listen to that yet. So, no, it's all good.
Little secret, I actually like the Archers, but
no, it's a magical place, and I think it's one of those places that's got into my being. You know, I feel so at home up in the Great Glen. You know, it's not just a familiarity thing. I keep getting drawn back, and I can't really explain why. I think is the main thing.
Maybe somewhere in your past lives, if you believe in that type of thing, maybe that was your ancestral home.
Yeah.
There might be some sort of a link in that. You know.
Yeah, dude wearing a skirt.
No, there's nothing wrong with wearing a skirt. It's just the drafts you've got to watch out for.
Yes,
but,
many of the times I thought about buying a kilt for the summer, but never actually.
Never braved it. Yeah. Okay, so. For somebody that wants to go and do a hike like the Great Glen Way or the West Highland Way, mainly for the Great Glen Way, what would you suggest preparation?
I came from a point a few years ago where I was extremely unfit and wasn't doing any exercise really. I wasn't looking after myself. My world revolved around earning money, and that's never a healthy thing really. So I changed. They told me I was diabetic, so I got a Fitbit. I did 10,000 steps a day. I do religiously now, except on Sundays I have a bit of a day off. I typically do 65,000 steps a week. When I did the Great Glen, I did 190,000 steps in a week.
Wow! I bet your Fitbit was having a right old party there.
It was. I was getting lots of achievement badges every day. But the long and the short of it is, you need a fairly robust basic level of fitness. You need to prepare yourself. You know, get the rucksack as light as you possibly can. Mine was about 10 kilos. And that was for a 4-season setup. That was a 4-season sleeping bag. The tent wasn't ideal, but at that point, if you're going down to getting stuff down to a weight, everything is a compromise. You've got everything you need and nothing you don't. The only piece of gear that I took that I didn't really need was an iPod, and that's so I was in the tent at night, I could watch a film or I could listen to music. Other than that, really, it's walking. You don't need to be too worried about navigation. I used an app on my phone called View Ranger, absolutely fantastic. I downloaded all the maps so I could use it offline. Harvey make an absolutely brilliant map, which is good for basic route planning. I took one with me in case there was a problem with the electronics, but it stayed in the front pack and didn't come out. The long and the short of it is, you just need to walk. You need to get yourself accustomed to travelling on your feet. and many of us now aren't.
Good, no, it's just too many people using either public transport or regular transport. It's the walking element of our human lives, I suppose, is no longer there. There are times in life, in years past, where people use horse and cart and still walked a lot. And one of the things, I actually watched a video yesterday called Hooks on YouTube. And it was a guy that walked from the South Downs all the way around the country and visited every single bothy. And one thing he actually stated is that one thing that Britain has for walkers is the ability to still, even today in modern age, walk from a village to another village or a city to another city. And I think we're quite blessed with that.
We are, definitely.
Unfortunately, not enough people are actually taking that up.
Well, we've had a beautiful walk this morning in the Wire Forest. We've probably seen 50 people. Here comes the dog again to see us. He's just been...
Yeah, we've got a dog over there that's...
This is not our dog, incidentally. This is somebody else's dog. Hello, mate.
Yep.
Yeah, very good. So yeah, we're very blessed with footpaths and bridle ways and all that kind of stuff. Yep. So we're very lucky indeed. And one of the things that I really enjoyed in the preparation was just going, right, I'm going to go and put a route together, put half a dozen footpaths and bridleways together, and do an 8 or 10 mile walk. The one thing I did do was every walk I did within 2 months of leaving was with a full pack. Right. So I was accustomed, and you'll see all over the internet people are going, make your pack lighter, aim for 8 kilos. What you'll find is when you're walking, the pack is neither heavy nor light, it is simply there, and the fact it becomes a real reassurance to have that on your back, because it's got your shelter in it, it's got your food in it, it's got your stove, your coffees, your sweeties or whatever, you've got it all there with you, and that's an incredible feeling.
Awesome. So a good pack.
Yeah.
Pack light.
Yeah.
Good pair of boots.
I actually use trail running shoes. I use Salomon X-Trail shoes, the Gore-Tex version. They were absolutely excellent. I did end up with one blister on my little toe on my right foot, but that wasn't the shoes causing that. That was a pre-existing condition with a callus that was rubbing on the toe next to it. Thankfully, yes, maybe no, all the skin came off that toe at the end of the walk, so the callus is no more.
So would you do it again?
Yes, I would.
What would you tell yourself? What would you tell your previous self if you could tell them? If you could go back in time and tell your previous self something that you would change or do, what would you tell them?
I would allow a little bit more time, actually.
More.
Yeah, so I could actually, if I didn't have the injury issue, I would have been able to do that 14.5 miles from Invermoriston to Drumnadrochit. I think that's still grating on me a bit, so I think I might nip up next year and do that.
Sounds good.
Just on my own.
Sounds good.
Where you can, stick to the mountains, go up the high routes, because you get up onto the top and it's just mind blowing.
Right.
The view is incredible. It's like being on the edge of a massive amphitheatre. So it's absolutely incredible.
It's one thing I found with hill climbing and walking up, especially Snowdon, is the sense of how small you actually really feel when you get to the top and you look down on the people or the houses and everything that's below, and it's just like, wow, you are just a small dot on this planet, but you are such a huge impact and impression on the whole surroundings. It really puts yourself into perspective of what this place really has to offer. It's a shame that the Wire Forest hasn't got a high point, but they've seen the drone footage, which is where I got above the trees. So
to be honest, I think we're at it. This is about the high point.
Yeah, I think we have. Yeah. So to the Great Glen Way, Stewart, 65 miles.
Yeah. The one thing that
amazing.
Is I never walk more than 2 miles an hour. I potter, and I had a lot of advice from friends, particularly people who'd been in the military, and just pick a rhythm or a cadence that you can stick to for a long period of time. And even if you're limping, just keep a rhythm going, and that will allow you to actually move over long distances. And when you stand on that hillside, and when we walked up out of Fort Augustus and we looked back, you could see where I'd come from, and it was a wee dot in the very, very, very distance.
I can imagine, yeah.
And by that point I'd probably walked 38 miles.
Wow.
or so
you did it with your best mate?
I did, yeah. He couldn't unfortunately get time to come up for the whole trip, and that would have been fantastic. But Gordy is a very old friend of mine, and he came up and joined me for the hill sections, which is where I don't know whether I'd be comfortable in doing the hill sections solo, particularly with the injury problem that I've got. Now, we were walking together, but Gordy was always off in the distance, and that was not a problem for me at all, because I like my own company, but I knew that if there was an issue, Gordy would have my back.
He was very much a morale booster.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And you'll see on his video, if you watch that, there's me going, I really can't wait to see my mate. I'm really glad he's here.
Yeah.
But a lot of the talking about morale, a lot of the advice I'd had from people who'd operated at quite high level in the military, friends of mine, was you can do anything. If you put your mind to it, you will do anything. You can achieve it.
Yeah.
And that was rings true. If you're walking up a hill and you're out of breath, stop, get your breath back, and go again, and go again, and go again until you've beaten it. And you will get there.
That's fantastic advice as well, and that's advice I'm going to take on board for myself, because I am used to be, as you all know, I was a little bit thinner than I was. I worked myself up on the fitness, and then obviously I had the mini stroke. But time's building up for me now, and I really need to get this weight back off. And so that little bit of advice there, just take it step by step by step, is really valuable. That. So I'm going to take that on board and work with my fitness. And moving on to I think what you've done is a great achievement for yourself. Great charity as well.
We asked. Well, I asked my mother to choose the charity that she would like us to go for and raise money for, and she chose a charity called Clibri Compassionate Communities. They are an organisation run by a lady on her own. What they do is they provide help and support for isolated elderly people. So we used her when my dad passed away. And they offer a befriending service, so a lady comes to see her once a week, does a bit of shopping for her on a Friday, so she gets her nice stuff from Marks and Spencer's that she likes.
Oh, fantastic!
They're there for you if you need help. Awesome. So we raised a significant amount of money. It's going up all the time because people keep on saying, "Oh, I've got some money for you. You've got to pick it up." So I'm very pleased, and Gordy was completely on board with that as well. And we've done absolutely fantastically.
Well, what I will do in the description as well, I'll leave a link to the Just Giving page.
It's actually closed down now.
Oh, is it closed down now?
Yeah, it has, yeah.
Right, because my Just Giving page used to carry on for some reason long after.
Gordy drew
That's
a line
shame.
under it, but it's never mind. Next time I would say if anybody is doing something for a local cause, super local, I would support it every time. Because the money we raised, I'm not going to talk about figures, but the money we raised will make a huge difference to compassionate communities. But if you were doing it for something like Cancer UK, which is or cancer research, which is an incredibly worthy cause, it would be a drop in the ocean.
Right.
But on a local level, it's helped people in my town, and I think that was quite important to me, really.
Yeah. Well, fantastic, and I'm absolutely blown away by your achievements. It's inspirational as well, actually, because we're not young men, you know.
I can give you 10 years, mate. Yeah, I've just turned 50, so. Yeah.
Right, so, and I've only just turned 40 as well. So I mean, we're still not young men. You know, it's not like we're 20 years old like we think we are. But yeah, it just shows that it doesn't matter how old you are, and what your fitness position is really. You know, anything's possible if you put your mind to it.
I think that's just butting in there. Sorry to talk over you, but what we've got going on here is the physical fitness. I would say is probably about 15% of what you actually need. Yeah. It's mental.
Right.
You can achieve anything you want to if you put your mind to it. So when you're really down in the dumps, you know, you can literally say, just keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Towards the end of the walk, 2 miles before the end, my knee was screaming at me. My little toe on my right foot with that blister from the callus was horrific, and I just kept going. I did what I needed to do.
Yeah.
I whacked some ibuprofen down, and I did it.
Yeah.
You know, and finishing the walk was quite overwhelming, because everything that I had done in the 6 months of preparation to get to that point, that was the culmination of it. And I couldn't believe how overwhelmed I was when I got to the end. It was,
quite rightly so as well.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's Stuart's account of things. I will try and get Gordon's account of things in a few weeks, with his permission, of course. But for those that are wanting to do the Great Glen Way, or any particular long distance hike, then I think the information that Stuart's just said is worth taking on board, and he's an inspirational guy, so take it there. For me, I think next year I'm going to attempt the Great Glen myself, so having this opportunity to speak with Stewart and learn of his stories as well is valuable to me. I'm not sure of dates of when I'm planning on doing it. I'm going to do it with a friend of mine, but we'll see what happens with my cadet calendar, but I think we're going to have some more walks.
I think so, yeah.
Long time before that as well.
Yeah,
so there's one coming up in spring with Stewart,
and
I'm sure there'll be some wintry walks with just us having a jolly somewhere, pretty much like today, really. So I think we're going to carry on and have a mooch around the woods and see if we can find the cars, and the weather seems like it wants to turn on us.
You'll be alright, mate. I know exactly where the car is.
So I'll see you guys on the trail, I guess, shortly.
Cool, thank you.
And thanks very much as well. Okay, well, got in the car just in time. Heavens have opened, and it is absolute chucking it down. So Stuart's finally gone. What an amazing guy. Absolute down to earth, friendly, spot on bloke. He really is. It's the first time we've met, but we have been talking over WhatsApp for quite a while now. Absolute belter of a bloke. Couldn't have asked for a nicer person to go for a wander with. So Stuart, if you do watch this video, thank you so much for today, and thank you so much for your insight and knowledge on the Great Glen Way as well. Such an inspiration. But anyway, it's getting on a bit, so I think it's time for us to head off home and see what the rest of the day brings. But from me, the Druid Rambler, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.